Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos.
All right, so let's talk. Speaking of end of school year, we are in or headed into. I got the email the other day. Your dues have been posted to your board, and I was like, didn't we just pay these last week?
Quarterly dues are ready, which means the new quarter is coming, which means, guys, we are halfway through the year almost.
I can't, Brenna. I'm
what?
like,
that's crazy.
For so many reasons. One, I'm so far behind. My business is not where I want it to be. And two, this year is flying and I'm not ready for it. I'm just not.
You know what else is funny? We were talking because we're like, we really need to do our 12-week year, our quarterly episode. And then we realized that we've been so busy. And we've had some great episodes this year, but we flew right by our second quarter.
We did.
Check-in and goals.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't know where mine are. I guess probably in the old show notes, but
yeah, because we didn't record them, so I don't know if we ever.
I don't know if we.
So here's the thing. Right now. This is what happens, right? Sometimes life gets in the way, and you're like, "Oh crap! I didn't really do what I said I was going to do, or follow through with the plan that I had because I don't know if I finished making the plan, right? Because we just kept rolling and hustling and doing the things. So we are resetting. We are coming into quarter three of 2026.
School's out for the summer. It's third quarter of the year. And am I the only one who feels like you're not where you want to be?
I mean, I would ask for a show of hands, but it's hard to see it, get a show of hands on a podcast. But
and I'm sure a lot of people are driving, so please keep your hands on the wheel. But
yeah,
I feel like I know I'm not the only one because I talk to a lot of agents on the regular, and even people who were super successful the last couple years have made comments like, "Yeah, business isn't where I want it to be." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's not just me." But I will say, all of the sudden, we were just talking about this before we hit record, I'm so overwhelmed I don't know where to start. And I think part of my problem is I haven't been, so I got comfy not doing stuff every day or all day, and now I'm like, oh, you want me to not just hang out today? Okay.
Got a lot of stuff to do. But no, I think that, and we've talked about how this business is cyclical, right? And it's feast or famine. That's why it's so important to have your finances in order, your budgeting, all those things to carry you through the months that are slow, or when your clients terminate for no reason, or just dragging their feet. Their feet. But
yes,
that's okay. We are, actually, this is kind of a shorter, I think, because Alyssa told me before we hit record that she only has a couple of goals. And I was like, normally I always feel God, Alyssa's got all this stuff planned out. And I literally am I'm just trying to keep the kids alive and sell a few houses, right? That's my goal for this quarter. That's my goal every quarter, if we're being honest. Just how I go about it or what I'm focusing on specifically tends to change a little bit. So I'm excited to see what you think Q3 is going to look like.
Yeah, I am too. So do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go back and forth?
Let's go back and forth. I like that.
Okay. So right now, as of right now, I have one listing live, but I have 3 more hitting the market all on the same day next week, which should be fun. Right?
I'm loving it.
And only one of those 3 is also a buyer. So that's not I'm going to have a ton from that. But so my goal is to get all 3 of, obviously, hopefully it doesn't take the full quarter, but with the way the market is right now.
I was going to say that those things that you have coming up, those could either be Q3 business or honestly It could be
Don't you
cute.
dare
It
say
could be
Q4.
cute.
Don't you dare say Q4.
It won't be cute. It won't be Q4. It won't be. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that, like, I have sellers that have reached out that I've talked to, and I'm like looking at days on market and stuff, and I was like, listen, it could be this. It could be this, and they're very different.
And to put it in perspective, my listing that is live right now was a listing I had last year. We are priced almost identically. Last year, I had an acceptable offer in hand in 7 days. And we couldn't accept it because of a personal thing on my client's end. Today is day like 17 this year. And I do not have an offer. And I'm freaking out because she's under contract on another house.
Yep.
And I've got to get something to shake loose here. So to put into perspective, literally the same house 1 year later, almost to the day, like same time of year last year too. And I can't get this thing to sell. So that's
it's so crazy.
how our market has shifted.
I have clients under contract right now on a property that we're supposed to close in a couple of weeks. And when we went under contract, there were two houses, and they're not different. You know what I mean? Like, they are very similar, like they wanted a little more acreage, like the location's very similar, like all the things. One wasn't drastically newer than the other, very comparable properties. They hit the market within 4 days of each other. We're under contract on one. The other one has been sitting on the market this entire time that we've been under contract, and we've been under contract for 45 days because the seller needed more time because they're building.
Right.
So we're going to end up at like an almost 60-day close at this point for this one, and that house is still active. The other one that they were considering.
Well, and I'm going to be doing a similar science experiment because one of my listings coming up next week is literally the house across the street from this listing. They're neighbors. They're best friends. And so I'm like,
are they moving together?
Kind of, yeah.
I love
they're
that for them.
Both leaving one side of town, headed for the other side of town for schools and stuff.
Great.
So,
awesome.
yeah.
They can help each
so
other
I'm
pack.
just like,
I love that.
Right? Well, they've been helping each other. Like, if the one like had a showing, the neighbor was running over to help clean and tidy real quick. When they were getting ready for pictures this week, the other one went over. So it's been fun. But yeah, I'm going to be playing that science. I mean, they're two different houses, but literally across the street from each other in the same neighborhood.
That's crazy.
So we'll see. Yeah, and the new listing, they're wanting to look at things and write offers. And I'm like, guys, with the way this one is sitting, we've got to get your house listed first because I'm worried we're going to sit and we need to see what's happening with is your house going to move differently?
Yeah, these folks that I was just talking about that are under contract, we had a very serious conversation about them when they first wanted to start looking at houses because they have a house that they're like, we're going to sell this and then buy so we can pay cash, right? And that's fine. And we talked about the logistics of what that looks like, right? And they were pretty sure that's what they wanted to do until the house that they wanted came on the market, right? And these folks have the flexibility, luckily, to move some investments around, take out a small mortgage, right? Get the house that they want. And then it's made it more relaxing for them because they're not having to rush to throw their house on the market to be able to try to get an offer, to be able to try to get the house that they want, right? So I am glad that they went that route, but there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity to go that route, right?
Right.
So
no, and
it's tricky.
I just had the same things with another set of clients too, where they're listed with Aaron and they were going to do the same thing. And I had to explain, like, they were like, well, we'll just write an offer that's contingent on the sale. And I was like, you're not even hitting the market for another 30 days. There's no way. So they did the same thing. They actually ended up with like a line of credit against their investments or something that made it so they could write a cash offer. Yeah. And they got the house, the house that they've wanted. So that'll work. But yeah, so my goal right now.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
obviously,
goals. Oh crap.
Yeah, is to get these 4 under contract and the 2 buyers into something. So that would be great. That would be 6 closings, Q3. That would be phenomenal.
We love that.
But I also want to continue doing like my expired marketing and stuff because it has been working. I did get someone to call to ask me to list her house and I actually turned it down. Because
and I was so proud.
Yeah, she had horrible cell phone photos. She was telling me all the things that she thought the other agent was doing wrong, and kept saying, well, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. And I just finally was like, fine. Like, you don't want to let me do what I need to do to sell your house. And you're mad that the other agent's not getting it done, but you're the problem. And so I just said, nah, I'm good. Thank you. So I
And
know
then
it's
look what
getting
happened.
eyes. Right. And then all of this showed up, and I was like, oh, okay, good thing I turned that down. So I guess that's 2 of my goals for I do have one other one that we'll talk about after we talk about one of yours.
Okay. Q2 has been crazy for me, and I love that.
You had a very
for
good
me.
Q2.
Yes, I had 8 closings in Q2, which is the most closings I've ever had in a quarter, which is super exciting. But and we talk about this every year, right? My kids are out of school for the summer. It's not as drastic of a change this year for me, though, because they've been home for school this whole year, right? So in the past, it's like, oh my gosh, I've always had from 8 o'clock to 3:15 to myself to be able to do whatever I needed to do for work. And, when the kids got home from school, that was kid time, right? But this year, with this school year, we've really had to juggle and kind of like, I don't want to say make it work, but really, I guess, figure it out because they were
figure out what the new
home,
routine is.
right? So it's not as huge of a shock for suddenly them being home 24/7 because they've been home the last year now because when school ended last year, that they've been home since then, right? So it's a little bit less of a shock this year and less of a panic for me, like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any business. I'm not going to be able to work because I know that this is doable. The biggest things for me is like really keeping that day blocking that I have going on. I think I'm going to end up switching out like Fridays, which is usually my flex day, right? I try to keep Friday as open as possible because then if the kids want to go do something, that's kind of like their fun day for the week. If they want to have kids, if they want to have friends over, like that kind of thing. They let me do what I need to do during the week, and then we get to do something fun. But I think I'm going to end up moving that to Thursday this year because my sister also has Thursdays off. And we like to do adventure things together.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
The day blocking has been a huge thing for us while they were in school this year. And by day blocking, I mean like Monday is mostly admin for me. Tuesday is a lot of content. We've got our podcast. I try to edit and upload and get all of that done on Tuesday, so I'm not trying to worry about it, the night before it's supposed to post. Wednesdays and Thursdays are like my appointment days. Appointment days are closings. And then Friday is that flex day, right? And whatever happens inside those days changes every week. But that's where I try to, if I'm booking appointments, I'm booking them for Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm not like, oh, well, I can squeeze you in at 1:30 on Monday, right? So that's worked out really well. That's getting carried into this summer. Goal-wise, I would like to close 5.
I think that's a good, especially with the girls out and like you've been so busy that maybe... And probably knowing you, it didn't, but prospecting may have slipped a little. So like there's not a huge pipeline, and just coming off of 8 for us, that's like a great year already. So yeah,
it was a lot. And I will be honest, having 8 pendings. And I know some of you out there listening are like 8 pendings, girl, I closed 8 last week. Right. Okay, great. Right. I love that for you. I don't want to say I fell off the wagon, but like the hardcore prospecting, I suppose, slowed down a little bit because I was a little busy because this of course happened in the busiest quarter of the year when we're talking about end of school testing and travel softball and all of those things. So there was a lot going on. So I started hardcore again a couple weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now, doing the FSBOs again because I do love a listing, right? I've been working with a lot of buyers, but I love a listing. And part of the goals, I guess, for this quarter is also like setting up more of a presentation part for that. So I have High Note. I've used High Note for a while. I talked with Alyssa, was it last week, about the mailers? I think it was last week. Getting little mailers, like not poly envelopes. They're like more structured to be able to send out stuff to... for sale by owner. I don't really do expireds, but like that kind of thing. And also doing an unreasonable hospitality call or training this month, I believe. Well, by the time this posts, it will already be over. But
Oh, are you? Mm-hmm. Okay, I got to get the book then so we can review it and talk about how the training
the
went.
book is good. The book is good. I didn't know what to expect for the book, but it was an easier read than I thought it was going to be. I really enjoyed the book. But with that, here's what I think. I will circle back and let you know if that's what's actually going to happen. I think I'm going to start implementing birthday boxes. I love a birthday present, right? A birthday box. So my thought for this, because I could do past clients, the people that are like locally-ish, right? Mm-hmm. Or I really love on my school, my elementary school. So what if I did birthday boxes instead of like dropping off treats to the lounge once a month? Like I bring in however many birthday boxes are the teachers that have a birthday that month. You know what I mean? And make it more
I see
specific to those people. But that's my idea. I'll let you know if we're going more sphere of influence with it, or I'm gonna like do the school with it and see how it goes.
I like it. Mm-hmm. I think it'll. I see both sides. I do business cards, birthday cards for my sphere. So the first of every month, I sit down and go through my calendar and fill them all out, and then separate them into which week they need to be mailed. And I get a lot of response from that. Like, or I did St. Patrick's Day cards for all my past clients in Sphere, and like people loved it. I definitely think there's something special about getting something in the mail that's not a bill or junk mail. Like it just lights people up. So I like that idea. I like that a lot.
The only thing I was thinking for like local wise or doing it at the schools, because I can drop them off, right? Because shipping. So here's where this started. I saw somebody, I don't remember if it was the Girls with Grit group or the Moms in Real Estate group. If it was the Moms in Real Estate group or the Mom Word group, you might have seen it also. But this lady had a small cardboard box, like a gift box, that wasn't necessarily branded, I guess. It was fun colors, had her name and whatever, and said happy birthday from who she is, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was like a coffee mug, and it had like a candle, and you know, one of those like cake in a mug things, you know what I mean? That you can put in a microwave. Yeah. One of those in there, and just a little like pin that said happy birthday on it.
I love that idea.
That's so cute and so easy, right? And replicatable and scalable and all of those things. I thought that was really cute.
No, I like that.
And it's not tied to a transaction, you know?
Right. And like for local people, that is something you can easily throw together, swing by their house, drop it off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that idea.
I thought it was cute, but that's where that came from.
I like that.
What's your last goal? Or actually, if you want to talk about like, because you have crazy listings coming up, what is your
My goal? Last goal is to bring on a showing agent.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Yeah, I have found, well, I'm not crazy, but I don't have a ton of volume right now. I do have a ton of need to not be at my house right now. And that has shown me that I don't like the feeling of scrambling to find a showing agent. I don't like the feeling of I've got to leave from my mom. So if you guys are watching the video, I'm at my mom's Airbnb in Georgia today because my nephew's piano recital was last night. I don't like the feeling that I'm going to record this, go say goodbye, and leave because I've got to get back. And it's not something I've spoken about. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, Alyssa going to hire a showing agent, please don't call me. Don't throw me. Like, I am reaching out to people and not that I don't like, know, and trust you guys, but I'm reaching out to people I like, know, and trust to see if they have a referral of an agent. Hey, do you have a new agent that you think is just going to be a rock star that would be interested in this? I'll pay it as like a percentage at closing, but I need someone I know is somewhat dedicated, that I can say, I'm going to be out of town this week, so I need to make sure you're in town. Because between being here, being in New York, I have come to realize that is something I need to add to my, I don't have a team, guys. Don't freak out. And Ariel, I know you're listening to this. I'm not starting a team. But I guess Taylor calls it like a micro team. Like I have my TC and now I'd like to hire a showing agent. So that is my goal, is to have someone on deck by the end of Q3. I'd love to have it in the next couple of weeks. To just, so I could stay here for the day and I could send them up to help my client make sure she feels comfortable for photos on Thursday. Or they could go handle an inspection for me so that I can be doing prospecting and bringing in the next thing. So yeah, that's my big Q3 goal, is I'm just going to focus on business and bringing in a TC. And I'd love to get all 4 of those sold with the 2 buyers. But like we said, with where the market is right now,
it's hard to say one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. But I'd hope for 5 or 6 closings.
Yeah, nice. Say 5 is where I would like to, be. That's where because then last year Q4 wasn't my best quarter. Normally quarter 4 is, but again, the market's a little wonky, right? The last couple of years has been a little weird, but I think the showing agent is a great next step. I mean, I know that you do a lot of buyers. I've never really done a lot of buyers, right? The last 2 years have been super buyer heavy, and it is just a lot more time and commitment than a listing. And not saying that we don't work really hard on your listings, because I know that you are about to be super busy working listings, because this is a market right now that you have to work those listings, right?
You are. I've been on the phone. I've been sending mailers. And that's the thing. It's like, there's so much behind the scenes right now that people are like, oh, you're not out and about doing this. I'm like, no, because I'm literally pounding the pavement in some situations. Like I'm designing and getting the mailers sent out. I'm, sending the reverse prospecting, finding the list to send the mailers to, all of the things behind the scenes. And I would rather be doing that and teach someone how I handle showings versus entrust a third party to get my listing sold.
So they're hard for their own reasons. So I think that leveraging that time, especially if you're meeting with the clients and like they know, love, and trust you, and you're like, okay, this is my showing partner or whatever, and not like you're handing them off to somebody just to like find them a house, right? It seems like a collaborative team effort. And with a showing agent not being like paid by the hour or by the showing or by the door, right? They're a little bit more committed to making that showing experience something that the buyer wants to live in, right? Or to help them see what you would help them see, because they're getting paid at closing too. So I think that's a great idea.
So we'll see. It's something I've kind of like jokingly tossed around, but the more I find myself needing to not physically be somewhere or needing to physically be somewhere else, I'm like, something's got to give. And that's the one thing.
It's hard with the buyers that I've had recently, but I haven't been traveling as much as you have. The only traveling I've been doing is to softball fields, that's hard enough.
But that's also like, you're still semi-local. Like I'm 3 hours away from home, and it's different. And like, I answered the phone the other day, and the person on the other end literally said, "Where are you, New York or North Carolina right now?" And I was like, I'm actually on my way back from New York.
How'd you know?
Or a friend / client texted me the other day and said, "Are you home?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, well, when do you get back?" And I was like, "Well, tonight. I'm just at a concert." She's like, "Oh, I thought you were out of state again." I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm in North Carolina. So,
I think that's a good step for your business, because I remember you saying that like one of your clients had either bought or did they sell their house with somebody else?
Yeah, and that wasn't because they actually came back and we were going to sell the house they bought. That's they ended up not. They needed to rent it because they were going to lose money. Yeah. And, but we like that got brought up and they were like, you're here for a reason right now, Alyssa. And I was like, okay. And they were like, that was a friend of a family member who someone had told them she needed help getting her business started. And so we thought we were, and I was like, I get it. Well, you
No,
and I know
understand,
this agent, and I was like, I played it cool because I was like, I've seen her numbers, but okay. Sure. But they, very much told me like that wasn't a you thing, that was an us thing. And there's a reason you're sitting in our living room right now to talk about listing this. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
let me think. There was one more. Oh, I took the Socially Sold course with Ashley Walker a few months ago. And you've probably seen my Instagram being
we
a
need
little
to
bit
like
different.
talk more about the different things we're doing because girl, I didn't even know that was happening.
I've just been so busy. I'm just like, this is what we're doing. This is what the day looks like. Anyways, so if you've seen my Instagram, I have
noticed it's different.
Yeah, I've had Instagram like feed from my Facebook. It's there, but it's not. I never use Instagram aside from like I follow like 4 people that I really like, so I watch their stories all the time. But that's it. I'm a Facebook girly, not an Instagram girly. But I'm trying hard. The biggest thing with that is like speaking to one person over and over and over and over until I like literally am so grossed out by making a post at this point because I'm like, I've said the same thing 43 times. And right now it's relocation buyers. And I say right now, like that's who I'm speaking to on Instagram because I've worked with a crap ton. Almost all of my buyers in the last 2 years have been relocation clients. And I am a relocation client, right? Like I am a transplant here, so I have a unique approach or understanding of things. Like you would be in the same boat because we've both done the like move across the country thing. So I'm working on that, reels and carousels that all say the same thing. And it's not tactical. And I think that was one of the biggest things from the course that I did was like, we're not talking about specific things to look for in a home inspection or like buyer information things. We are just repeating over and over and over that if you're relocating to Hickory, this is what your Saturday could look like. If you're relocating to Hickory, this is what $500,000 looks like. You know what I mean? Those kinds of things. Because it trains the algorithm to be like, oh, relocating to Hickory, right? Like that's it. So then it starts to push out to the people that actually may transact.
I like
right?
this.
So I was like, so I completely separated Facebook from Instagram. Facebook doesn't
Really?
feed.
So they don't.
Facebook doesn't talk to my Instagram anymore. I post to Instagram separately because Facebook I'm still talking about like clients that have closed, and I'll still post success stories on Instagram as long as it's like a relocation or like we bought in Hickory kind of situation, so I can use that for more speaking to that ideal client. But Facebook is more everything, I guess, because I post a lot of different things on Facebook, but there's just relocation on Instagram right now. So I've only been doing that. Honestly, the course started the week that my brother passed away, so I ended up a little bit behind on that one. But we finished it up, and I've been posting since then, and I've already gotten 2 people that have like reached out from Instagram.
I know you disconnected them, so one doesn't feed the other. Mm-hmm. But are you still posting? Because I feel like I've seen these on your Facebook.
So some of the reels I'll still put on Facebook.
Right? Okay, but they're not connected. You're posting separately. Correct. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Most of them they've actually like posted completely different days, right? Like I'm just like I have nothing. Like I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna repurpose this reel. And it's great. Yeah, it works. Okay. It works. The content's there, right? And again, people who see it on Instagram might have not seen it on Facebook or vice versa. Like there's not a lot of overlap in my Facebook friends list and my Instagram followers. So it's like two separate groups of people that I'm talking to. So
did you take her, I'm looking at her website right now. Did you take her Instagram for Realtors boot camp, or was it like a special?
I did. So that's the lead in. She did a boot camp before the cohort started. The cohort is an 8-week program. It is expensive.
Yeah.
when I was like, oh yeah, like send me the information on it, I was like, oh sweet Jesus, right? But the more I talk to a few people that have done it, she has a podcast. I listened to her podcast, and like she had a lot of people on there talking about it. I followed a couple of the coaches from the program, and I was watching like their stuff for a while, and I was like, all right, like I understand like what they're doing. Like I see that it makes sense for what they're saying. So did that. And
Well, you know what's funny? I'd noticed yours had changed, and I thought you were just leaning more into coffee and contracts because they have a lot of that content built in there.
And I haven't used coffee and contracts since I did the socially sold thing. Isn't that funny? And it's one of those things. I'm trying to do 5 days a week, right? Which seems like a lot, because it is a lot. I'm not a 5-day-a-week poster, right?
Right.
But so much of it is not like a curated thing. Like I've always felt like it all has to be like so curated and professional-esque and like look so clean and everything. And a lot of the things that I have posted that do well are the ones that are like a clip from the farmer's market and a weird trippy video of my kids walking, you know, like that kind of, those clips like all tied together.
Remember when we first started and you did the motorcycles in a cage?
Oh my God.
That's how we met.
40,000 views that night.
Yeah, that's how we met, because I saw that and I was like, wait, that's that girl from Girls with Grit. I know her. I know of her.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. So I'm just like trying to dive into that, because as much as I love a listing, bring me a listing, every listing, right? But I'm also aware enough of the market right now to understand that buyers actually have more power in this market right now than a listing does.
Well, or the other thing is, so I just had a closing, right? I now have 4 listings. 4 listings with photos and video. Just took half of my compensation from that closing. That is a lot on the line that may not sell. There's a lot there. Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah, absolutely. So there was, in the Girls with Grit coaching, there's a module that they have you like break down like your cost of a listing, right? Like, oh, okay, the cost of the listing. But even like this is outside of like your sign and they have your photos listed and all that stuff. But also like, did you mail and print and mail anything? Did you have like information cards at the house? Did you have a snack basket at the house? Did you host an open house that cost you like how much does it cost you to take that listing, right? And on average, it's like $18.50 for me.
Yeah, because we are not in a market where it's okay. You pay for the low end photos, throw a sign in the yard, and the house sells in 3 days. We're in the market where you're spending probably at least $1,000 on photos and video. And then all of those things easily right now, because my photo and video package is between $1,100 and $1,200 right now, and that's before I do the Facebook ads behind it. So if you're super listing heavy right now, and none of them are closing because of this market, I got a lot of money on the line.
It's one of those things like you put that investment in and you're like, oh, well, we're going to sell this house. But when, right? Because if we were selling those houses in 15 to 21 days, like, all right, that return comes back. Like that money comes back into the business bank account. We keep circulating that. But now we just had a coaching call last week where they're talking about like, okay, now you need to figure out your holding cost for a listing, right? You have your upfront listing expense, right? If you have a TC that inputs it, like all of what costs you to get it on the market. Well, now if you're holding that listing 60, 90, 120 days and you're recirculating your marketing setup and all of those things, how much does it cost you to hold that listing until it sells? Because it also is not cheap.
Nope. Especially if you have staging in it.
Yeah, like, it's not just an initial upfront cost and then you just hold it until it sells, right?
Right.
There's so much, there's time that's going into it. There's more ads that are going into it. There's another mailer that goes into it, you know, and it adds up. So if you're taking like a $200,000 listing and then suddenly it costs you $3,800 by the time it's sold, like, yikes, guys.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
gross to think about. I know we don't want to think about that, but
I know. Maybe that should be our next episode is how to figure that out and, to figure out, is it worth taking that listing right now? Like, do you have any other goals? I'm going to bring the train back to the tracks
I
here.
know. With this was all over the place. I'm so sorry, guys. No, I think that's really it.
So my goal is to get what I have and keep moving and hire a showing assistant. And yours is to get 5 closings and you have your summer schedule and to stick with your day blocking.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, you'll hear from us before the end of the third quarter, but if you don't, we will do our best to remember to recap this at the beginning of Q4 as we gear up, which sounds crazy, for the holiday season.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Something else, too, you guys need to keep in mind. We have a very important guest joining us here in the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned. If you don't know her, you should know her. Should we, name drop?
No, I don't want to name drop yet. But maybe we could leave some teasers. So maybe we'll make this like a
clip,
like an Easter egg, like Taylor Swift does. I'm trying to think of one right now.
We could use
I think there's already a teaser in here. We definitely mentioned something about this person in here. So
take another listen.
Listen again. See if you can find it, and then in the next episode. Or on our Instagram, we will, but we have, y'all, someone I never thought we'd get. Someone that Brenna and I were like, that's a big fish, and we are nobodies. And they came to us, which is such an honor. My flabbers were gasted when I got that DM. I was like, what? You want to come talk to us?
Alyssa screenshot it and sent it to me, and I zoomed in and I read it again, and I was like, what? Huh?
Is that real? Is that a fake account? That can't be her.
You know what's even funnier is because probably 2 months before that, we were like, you know who we'd really love to have on this podcast? And we said it out loud.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw you under the bus a little here. You said, yeah, she wouldn't do that.
I did.
Try.
I was like, we can
wow, Brenna.
She's so busy. Oh,
she is.
My God.
She is. She's so busy. But right now she's at Disney World. There's an Easter egg. Right now, as we record this on May 19th. I was going to say, she is in Disney World. So, yeah. But, all right, let's wrap this one up. You guys know our goals. If you haven't figured yours out for quarter 3, maybe today is the day to go to the coffee shop or the library or whatever. Find a quiet space, figure out what they are and how you're going to reach them. And as always, normally, we didn't do it as much this quarter, but we do follow the 12-week year. So if you're not sure how to figure out how to reach those goals, highly recommend reading that book to figure that out. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.